Episode 14, Preah Sihanouk to Phen, 14th to the 20th of April 2024. A little further along the Cambodia coast to a point called Preah Sihanouk. This is a high-rise ghost town. The story that I heard was that it was Chinese investors that went broke during the COVID years. So if you're looking for some seaside real estate at a cheap price, grab hold of one of these high rises, give it a coat of paint, some windows in, you'll be right, mate. So this below us now should be a fantastic nighttime marketplace. I'm going to get a room here for a couple of nights. This entire area below us looks like it's going to turn into a huge nighttime marketplace. There's some entertainment screens and stages here. Despite being a high-rise ghost town, this is going to turn out to be party town. It did in fact prove to be a massive market. The entire length of that boardwalk where these white marquees are, the food stalls, trinket stalls, water pistols, talcum powder and waterproof foam cases are the big seller because it's the Cambodian New Year. Massive water fights all night. G'day from my window tonight. Public holiday Monday, walking and talking around, having a look at some of the back streets, what goes on behind the high rise. A high rise ghost town. Looks like Terminator's Judgment Day. I'm expecting Will Smith to come running past, chased by a mob of zombies. Mobile mechanic like RACQ, having a midday nap in his hammock. The beach to the southeast of my hotel is absolutely deserted during the day. I did manage to find a beautiful lunch. At night time, it's party central. The beach below my hotel, walking in the easterly direction. With lights and restaurants just go on forever and ever. And that's the pier out of my hotel window where the water fights were last night and again tonight. Monday the 15th of April is a public holiday. It's a long weekend for the Cambodian New Year. This is a Khmer festival left over from ancient ancestors. It is the end of their harvest and families and friends gather to welcome the new year and play Khmer folk games such as Songkran, the water festival. It looks like absolute anarchy, but very respectful. If you are not armed, you don't get squirted. Nobody was drinking, just clean family fun. There's some talc powder dust that's just floating through the air. Other than that, rock and roll girls, right? They're very respectful, and if they see that you're not armed, you sort of don't get squirted. They're very respectful. It looks like absolute anarchy, but the Cambodian people are really beautiful people, just enjoying themselves, just having an absolute ball. Riding east towards Camp Pot the next morning. This is what a typical roadside country town looks like in Cambodia. Just on the left here there's an accident with two motorcycles. On the dirt roads I have found that it's better off to stick as far to the right wheel track as you can. You're further away from flying rocks and dust from these other vehicles. It's not quite as corrugated. The trucks seem to stick more to the middle of the road. The downside is that it is much softer. You will get pockets of soft sand that give your front wheel a bit of a shake around. And there are huge loose rocks about the size of your fist, sometimes more. They will also knock your front wheel around a little bit. And corrugated. We have dusty roads in Australia. Bokor National Park. I actually came up here looking for a campsite. Buddha on the hill with a beautiful view toward the coast and the lowlands below Bokor National Park. Bokor Lake, it's absolutely chockers with goldfish and carp. You could camp here, but you need to be self-sufficient. You take it.
I don't know how to take a picture.
It's on video. You don't have to take a picture. It's on video.
Yeah.
More abandoned development. Again, possibly Chinese. I'm not sure whose this is. It looked like it was going to be a big tourist mecca spot. There's really not much here, and they're quite a ways from the lake itself. So it would have been a bit of a drama getting there for your water sports and everything. I don't know why they would not have built this closer to the lake. It's just out here on the tablelands, and there's nothing here. Pot and Songkran continues. Happy New Year. A very comfortable $23 room in Twin House Guest House. Very comfortable. It's right on the riverfront. Pubs, clubs, hotels, restaurants, all within easy walk. Even the town centre's only a few minutes up the road. I had a bit of a fly around with the drone that afternoon. Just off the common deck on the 3rd floor. Still feeling a little bit nervous and making sure I keep the drone within line of sight for the controller. I have upped the drone's automatic return to home height. Let's see how we go. The French were in Cam Pot from 1863 for 90 years. It's a big pepper growing area, and when you go out and try some of the local Khmer foods, you get raw pepper on the stem. It's steam fried along with everything else, and it's quite spicy. It's quite nice. The boardwalk here this evening was very full of people. The water fights for Songkran still goes on, and the sunset absolutely beautiful, shining through and reflecting through this abandoned building. There's 3 fire engines in the middle of town, and they win the water fight. You cannot win a water fight against a fire engine. These people know how to have fun and celebrate New Year. Some reflective lights along the river beside my room. Quite a bit of French architecture in town, and the museum, my emblem in a statue called Southwest Star instead of Wandering Star. Ta-da! A big lily pond close to the centre of town with little statues and built out areas. Statues everywhere. They're big on their statues. They love their fruit and they're doing it. A typical back street. This old love doing what she can. Lots of expats, retirees from all over the world. Thursday the 18th of April, I went for a day ride out to Camp and the Vietnam border. Plenty of statues, abandoned buildings along the way, markets in all the little towns. It was a really lovely ride. The seaside villages through Camp are absolutely beautiful. Seems to be a bit of a thing in Cambodia. They have all these day hammock areas. So you have lunch, a couple of beers and a siesta, but not nighttime use, only daytime use. Ta-da! Lots of statues. I didn't photograph all of them. Beautiful bays, and being a tourist area, they keep it clean. Welcome to Camp. I had a little bit of a fly with the drone, still a little bit nervous after the crash earlier in the week. So I'm still quite nervous about flying around behind a hill where the radio waves get cut between the controller and the drone itself. This is the beach I was on earlier where all the hammocks are. It should be a really lovely tourist area, and well, obviously it is. There just doesn't seem many crowds here. Islands offshore look really lovely, and there were a few areas where boats were taking tourists out there. I'm sure there would be water sports, snorkeling, scuba diving, lots of fishing bays, a couple of white horses. The colours of the boats are really nice, you know, and you will see the colours in the boats change from country to country. So here we are, the last little town, lots of roadworks going on everywhere. Good luck buying something to eat out of these roadside stalls with all this dirt and dust flying through everything. And here we come to Vietnam, another statue in the middle of the road there. Now I'm not heading into Vietnam, I've got no visas, which wouldn't be too hard to get a visa for Vietnam, but I've been told on several occasions there's no chance whatsoever of getting my 650 in. I could leave it somewhere in this town and hire a scooter when I got there. Look, maybe I'll fly back for a holiday sometime in the future. So, goodbye Vietnam. I only came out for a day ride. I actually wasn't intending coming this far, but here, this is motorcycle camping self-sufficiency. You really can't get much more on there, can you? Beautiful mountain views. I brought another statue in the roundabout on the right there, just making my way back into Kampot. This is the street beside my hotel, and there's restaurants, pubs, clubs. There's a lot of expats in this town. There really are. It's a lovely town, and very relaxed. So there's that abandoned skyscraper that we saw yesterday, and my hotel. That's the restaurant next door. That's my hotel there. Friday the 13th, riding from Kampot to Phnom Penh, came across this huge market in Ange Tan Som. Had to stop and have a look. There were markets all along the road this day. This market is absolutely massive. It's so big that people are riding their scooters around it. This banana van probably won't get much more in. Some of the things you see along the road, little hut, no warnings, bike full of trucks on the way to market, and another market, lots of markets all along the road this day. Ta Prom Temple. Looks like quite a nice little ruin to explore, but it was ruined by well-dressed beggars with fancy mobile devices just harassing you. Inland Lake, next door to that temple I went to. Lovely little coffee shop owned by a motorcycle enthusiast. This guy's a bit of a racer. Joan Ek, genocide, killing fields, mass graves, tree where babies were bashed to death. Most of the skulls had no front teeth. There's 12 stories, 4 walls. Some of the tools they used to just hack people to death, they didn't want to waste bullets. There's about 300 of these killing fields in the country. Independence Monument in a roundabout on my approach to Phnom Penh. My very fancy room, 46 Australian dollars, and a view of the Tilon Sap River. I'll spend 2 nights here, walking and tuk-tuking around the next day, the hill where Phnom Penh began, and the stupa where the king and his family's ashes are. How would you like to be an electrician in Asia? The central market, it's quite big. Workshops, mainly cars and bikes being washed. Golden Temple. The whole temple is made of solid gold paint. People holding back this multi-headed dragon. These are family tombs with family ashes in there. Not China's terracotta warriors, gold and cement monks. A couple of cheeky monkeys relaxing on my veranda, and Phnom Penh nightlife. The riverboat cruises beautifully lit up. A lot of expats in this town, but it was nowhere near as enjoyable as Kampot. My room in the capital of Cambodia, Phnom Penh. Big city. The Tonel Sap River on this side, which runs down from the Tonel Lake up near Sam Reap and the Angkor Wat areas. And that's the Mekong on the other side of the spit there. Now that runs right up through Laos and follows the Lao-Thai border. I think all the way to the Himalayas. But Phnom Penh certainly is another capital city. I'm not sure if some of these skyscrapers are still viable projects. There are one or two that are Chinese.